Alright, YouTube says I'm live, so I must be live, right? YouTube never lies. Well, internet never lies. Welcome in. This is Hanging with Dave. This is a little live stream I do every weekend. It's usually Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. I end up working a full-time job today, so it's a little bit later this afternoon. It's 5 p.m. here locally, which is EST. But this is episode 68. Been doing it for 68 weeks and I've only missed a couple, so that ain't too bad, I don't think. But basically just a chance for the subscribers, anybody who wants to come in, hang out with me, ask questions. You know, we kind of go down through the comments that's been left on the videos for the past couple weeks, or the past week. Then I'll take any questions that come in through chat. You know, sometimes I cover different stuff. You know, sometimes I actually stream some gameplay. Sometimes I look up some news articles when I have time. But, of course, unfortunately this week I've been working overtime all week long. And I ended up working today. So I didn't have a chance to set anything up for articles. I didn't. And tell you the truth, I was a little too tired to do any streaming of games for today. So we probably won't be doing none of that either. So pretty well today's just going to be Q&A. We're going to run down through the questions and whatnot. When we get done, we'll talk about a little bit about the channel and you know, about how it's doing and whatnot, how it's done over the past week, and what's coming up on the channel and what you can expect on the channel and all that good happy stuff. So let's quit beating around the bush here, and we'll jump over here into the comments and questions and concerns. And but before we do that, there's a few disclaimers I like to throw out. I just about forgot them this week. I've been doing this for 68 episodes, and just about forgot my disclaimers. I can't forget my disclaimers. Number one, I do enjoy me a cold beer while I do this. I do enjoy me a cold Budweiser. So cheers, y'all. Hope this Saturday's finding you well. So there is that. Number two, I am a truck driver by trade. Foul language comes out even though I don't mean to do it. So it does slip out. You know, I just want to make you all aware that, you know, there will be a little bit of foul language possible from time to time throughout the stream, which I try to keep it under. I try to keep it at a minimum, but it does happen from time to time. If the drinking or the foul language ain't right for you, or you're very offended by it, you know, I don't mean to sound like I'm a mean ass or anything, but, you know, maybe this ain't the right stream for you. When it comes to names, I ain't very good with the English language, let alone some of these YouTube handles. So if I butcher your name in the comments, or if I butcher your name, if you're live and you put it over there in the chat, you know, I want to apologize up front. You know, I'll try to pronounce them the best that I can. Sometimes it actually gets a little funny the way I try to pronounce them. So I also want to throw that out there. I know some people get offended pretty easy by not pronouncing the name right, but you know, I do the best that I can. When it comes to the overclocking questions, because I do have quite a few overclocking videos on the channel, you know, I get a lot of questions. You know, I got these ports, you know, these exact ports I got, you know, these are my specs. What can I get out of them? I don't know. I mean, you know, and I know it kind of sounds kind of mean, but I really don't know. Even if I had the exact same components that you've got, you know, they may overclock differently. Maybe you can get a little bit better overclock than I can. Maybe mine will overclock a little bit better than yours can. I've said it a million times, you know, a lot of other people said it, you know, it depends on the silicon lottery. That is a true thing, you know. That's how you get different stages of CPUs, you know. Depends on how good the silicon is that your CPU is made out of compared to what mine's made out of. You know, it's the fun of overclocking, you know, see what you can push your limits to and see what you can get out of your components for the best performance. So there is that about the overclocking questions. I'm not too sure if we got any this week, but you know, they do come up quite often. Now, with all that being said, let's flip over here, and we'll start going down through the questions and comments from this past week. We don't have a whole lot, but we do have a few, I guess. So we'll flip you over here. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a week since I've done it here. There we go. That puts my pretty little face up there along with the comments, right? Yep. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. And we'll start down here at the oldest like we normally do. 1 week ago, so it must have been last Saturday. Sinyan Boyer, I guess the way you pronounce that. How to overclock your RAM on the Asus Prime B550A Wi-Fi motherboard. Is what if I want to change my megahertz to 4000? What should I do with those settings? I'm assuming he's talking about his timings. I just try XMP, and that's why I start out with XMP. Even if the RAM ain't a stable overclock with XMP enabled, I always start with them exact settings. Because that's what the RAM says you should be able to get out of your RAM, And them settings, it kind of sets all your timings and everything for you, gives you a good starting point. I'd definitely try XMP. You should have a 4000 megahertz XMP on there for if your RAM's up to 4000 megahertz. I try the XMP. If it don't work, then type in them exact same numbers manually and try it again, then try to adjust from that point. Which in all my RAM overclocking videos, I've showed you that's the way I do it, and that's the reason why I do that. So yeah, I'd see what your XMP says it should be set to with the 4000 megahertz, and I'd go from there. I want to thank y'all that watch the videos and all the support, all the subscribers. Everybody that watches the videos, that gives us a thumbs up, that shares the videos. I know a lot of you come in and watch the videos every week. Even though, it may not be what you're interested in or, whatever. You just like my kind of content. I appreciate that. I'd like to, thank y'all for the support, especially the ones that leave the comments. That's what makes the live show possible here every weekend. I want to thank y'all for that. Cheers to y'all. Okay, next one on our hit list here. We have Valentine Motis. How to dedicate more RAM to the Ryzen integrated graphics on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H. He says, thanks, bro. Well, you're welcome, bro. I'm glad I could help you with that. We got Grayman Dorktree 6 days ago. Cougar MG120G gaming computer build for 2020 and 2021. Great video. Thank you very much for making and uploading it to us. You're welcome. I'm glad you found it to be interesting or a little bit useful for your next build you got coming up. Let's see here. We have Ninja Slayer on how to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H motherboard. Didn't get it to work, but it was worth a shot. Yeah, sometimes your RAM and your motherboard just ain't compatible enough to where you get any kind of overclock at all out of them. Sometimes it happens. I hate to hear people when that stuff like that happens to you, but sometimes that does happen, especially with Ryzen. Ryzen's pretty picky about the RAMs. Let's see here. Obably Abra, I guess. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H motherboard. I have a 16 gig kit of OLED RAM, 3000 megahertz. Can I not just XMP auto, or do I also have to manually overclock it? My motherboard is a Gigabyte B360M DS3H. I just turn on the XMP or the one button overclock. The manual overclock, I show you how to do it just in case your XMP profile or your DOCP profile, which B360, that'd be a Intel motherboard. But your XMP, that's why I show the manual, is just in case your XMP don't work, it gives you an idea how to go in and do it yourself. They'll be able to at least get some better performance out of your RAM. Yeah, you just do the XMP auto. If it's as long as it's running stable for you, it's all you need to do. If it ain't stable, then you may need to go in and do the manual overclocking on it. Let's see here. Looks like we're gonna have to put this one in translate here. Who do we got? Yon Soul 897. I guess. I don't know. I know I butchered that one. I'm sorry for butchering your name so bad. Looks like it's Spanish. The only thing I understand out of it was tutorial on gracious. Let's see here. Translate. Google. Enter text. Paste. It was an excellent tutorial. Thanks. You're welcome. That was on how to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B550M DS3H motherboard. I'm glad you got some useful information out of that, and I was able to help you out to get that RAM overclocked. We got Stickbear123. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450M DS3H motherboard. He says, thanks. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help you with that. We have RG 2 days ago. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B550M DS3H motherboard. When changing DRAM voltage, do I need to change timings as well? No, you wouldn't. You don't necessarily have to. Your DRAM voltage just tells your motherboard how much voltage to pump into it. You really wouldn't have to change your timings. Usually you change your voltage because you want to get better timings or you want to get more speed out of it. But you really don't have to change them if you don't want to. Let's see here. Next, we have Soling. How to overclock your Ryzen 3600 on the Asus B550MA Wi-Fi motherboard. Try lowering the voltage. Some people can get 4.4 gigahertz with 1.2 volts. Yes, if I was going to run that as an everyday overclock, I'd probably try something like that and try to get that voltage down to where it wasn't sending so much voltage. But I just, that was just kind of show you how to do it and see what I could get out of it. If I was going, like I said, even to the end of the video, I went into, if I was going to run it as an everyday thing, I'd cut it back a little bit to make sure it was stable. If I was going to run that as an everyday overclock, I'd probably try to get a little bit lower voltage out of it instead of the 1.35 that I had on it. But yeah, a lot of people are getting 4.4 volt gigahertz out of 1.2 volts or 1.25 volts. And that's a good tip for anybody out there that's trying to do overclocking. I don't think I bring that up much, but once you find a stable overclock, you can always cut back that voltage to try to cut back on some of the wear and tear on the components themselves. To see if you can still keep it stable with less voltage. Who we got here? Morky Dungo, I guess. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B550M DS3H motherboard. I have XPG Spectrum D60G, 4 8 gig sticks, 4133 megahertz. XMP, manual set, nothing works. Still run at 2666. Only thing worked is setting all of the auto and the multiplier to 2933. Then I have 2933. BIOS 13F. Any advice? Thank you so much. Not really. I mean, it sounds like you've tried manually setting it. No, XMP ain't working. Matthew, hey Dave, afternoon. How you doing, Matthew? I'm glad you joined me today, buddy. Glad you could stop in and say hi with me. You tried manually setting it. That 2933 would probably be about the best you're going to get out of that RAM. Maybe try to update that BIOS. F13F. I'm not sure on what one that B550 motherboard's on. But yeah, maybe try a different BIOS. Try to update that BIOS. Just make sure you don't get up to a BIOS above what supports your CPU that you're running. But it sounds like that may be about the best you'll be able to get out of your RAM. I really don't have much advice for you to try to get that 4133 out. If you went in and tried to manually set it and everything ain't working, yeah, I'm sorry, but really don't have much advice for that one. Who else we got here? Last one for this week, looks like. We have Abdul Shuki, I guess. How to dedicate more RAM to your Ryzen integrated graphics on the Gigabyte B450 MDS3H. Says, thanks a lot, Dave. Appreciate it. Well, appreciate you watching the video. I'm glad I could help you get some more RAM dedicated to them integrated graphics. That's gonna pretty well wrap it up. Ain't nothing held for review. Nothing not newly published. Nope, not a thing. That'll be it for the comments and questions and concerns for this week. Let's see if I can get you guys flipped back over here. We can see my pretty mug. Everybody likes watching my pretty mug, right? As far as how the channel went this week, it's been a little bit slower than normal. We've had quite a slowdown since the beginning of the year. But over the weeks, it's been getting slower and slower. I only got about 8 new subscribers this week, which by what Google was saying in the last 7 days, it's about 50% less than what we got last week. But I guess you'll have that. The views is still on a downward spiral, but of course, the weather's getting nice, people's getting out, so not so many people watching videos, I guess. Of course, this is about the first year I really stuck with this to kind of do any kind of comparison between the seasons and how the videos do and whatnot. But we are up to 1,344 subscribers for our community members. So welcome in, y'all. Appreciate it. I want to thank you guys for watching the videos and leaving the comments and the likes and the shares and all that good happy stuff. Really appreciate it. To the new members, welcome to the community. Hope you find some entertainment and some value out of being a part of the community. If you, like I said, I want to thank you all for the support. I didn't really know what to expect out of this YouTube thing when I started it, but seems to be doing pretty good for me. Not too bad, I guess. As far as this week's video, I have no idea yet. Like I said, Matthew, slow but steady, Dave, right? That's right, slow and steady. I'll take them as they come. I'll get there one day. I'll get there. I'm too stubborn to give up. But like I said at the beginning of the show there, I've been working extra long hours this week at work. Been working over every night this week. I had to work today. That's why I'm doing the live show a little bit later tonight than what I normally do it. I can't really do the live stream and be at work at the same time. So I really, since I work today, Saturday mornings is normally when I do my filming for the YouTube videos. But since I've been working so much, I'm not really too sure on what this week's video is going to be yet. I got a lot of stuff running through my mind and whatnot. I got a lot of different projects that I could do. Just being short on time frame. Next week I shouldn't have so much overtime, so I can put a little bit more time into the YouTube thing. Matthew, when overclocking, how do you get the CPU to downclock when not under load? For example, when just browsing Chrome. When overclocking, how do you get the CPU to downclock? Nah, you don't. If you overclock it, your CPU will run at that overclock speed at all times. It won't downclock. That's one of the downsides that nobody ever talks about when you talk about overclocking CPU. If you lock it at a certain frequency, like that last overclocking video that I did, I put it 3.6, that thing stayed at 3.6. It shouldn't be hitting 3.6 or whatever you got it locked to unless you really have to have that kind of speed out of it. When overclocking, how do you get the CPU to downclock when not under load? For example, like whenever I did my last overclocking video, what was it? 3600. Hold on, let me pull it up. It should automatically not be maxing out on the overclock unless it feels that it needs the speed. Hold on, there we go. Where's it at? This is the port. That ain't what I want. That ain't even the right video. That ain't even the right one. This last video I put up, PBO one. Well, lock it at 3.6 gigahertz. Yeah, we clocked it to 4.0 and it stays at 4.0 at all times. That I have no idea on Matthew. I've never seen one do that. Most of the time when you overclock a CPU, it won't use that speed unless it needs to use that speed. I'm trying to find it here. 3600 megahertz. Yeah. Come on, David, get on with it. CPU ratio locked at 3600. Reset into Windows. Alright. Even if you set it to 3600 megahertz, it shouldn't be up to 3600 megahertz unless it has to be up to 3600 megahertz. I don't know if I can get that to blow up for you or not. It's under full stress right there already. But if you can tell, when I first started it up here, I don't know if you can actually see them numbers or not, but it was only utilizing 400 megahertz or so instead of the 3.6 gigahertz or 3600 megahertz. I don't understand why it's overclocked to 4.0 and it's staying at 4.0 even at idle. And at 4.0 should only be hitting the 4.0 whenever you got it maxed out and trying to get the extra. That might be my MOBO. It might be your motherboard. Which motherboard you running, Matthew? But usually when you overclock it, though, it usually don't run them kind of temps unless it absolutely has to, and don't run them speeds unless you absolutely have to. It might be your motherboard. Depending on your motherboard, there may be a setting in there to where you got it something clicked, you know, where it runs them speeds at all times, even if not necessary or something, maybe. Depending on your motherboard and the BIOS that you're running. So that may be something to look into. Go back in your BIOS and see if there's something that tells it to run at the set speed, even though it don't need that much power. Rather than that, I'm not too sure why it would be running at 4.0 at all times, even at the desktop or just browsing Chrome. Because I know Chrome does use a lot of RAM, but it shouldn't be using that much CPU usage. The Gigabyte B450 ORS. Gigabyte B450 ORS. I don't know. I don't have much experience with that motherboard. I actually have that one. It's the mini ITX model of it, but I haven't even got it installed yet to even play around with the BIOS. It's actually still in the box here. It's the mini ITX version of it, but it's still the ORS. We should probably still have the same BIOS, I'd say, but I haven't even got the system built with it yet to even do any testing with it. Of course, there ain't gonna be nothing on the websites about it doing anything like that. So, have you found that anybody else is having this issue with the motherboard? Overclocking. CPU clocking at 40 seconds. Yeah, it shouldn't be stayed at 4.0, not unless you got a bad motherboard or, like I said, there's something within that BIOS you can check to where it runs that overclock it all the time. Even if you use something like AMD Ryzen Master or something like that to overclock it usually won't do that. It usually only does it when it needs it, when you're running at full load. New chair, Dave. Looks good. Well, thank you, the great. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with me. Glad you came in this Saturday. Yeah, it looks like the IMMA have to get an OC done again and check if that was actually what was happening. Might be my fault. It might be. And then BIOSes, it's easy to check stuff that you don't realize that you did, or you may have clicked on it while you're trying to mouse over top of it or something and clicked it or something like that. But yeah, I'd definitely check into that, see if there's something in there that makes it run at that speed all the time, Matthew. Yeah, the great. I do have me a new chair there. I had to get me a new one. My other one was being held together with ratchet straps and zip ties and all that. Thanks anyways, Dave, by the way. You're welcome. I hope I helped you a little bit, at least gave you a starting point on why that motherboard stays overclocked like that all the time. At least a starting point to look at. Yeah, but that, and I spent a lot of time in the chair, so I needed something a little bit more comfortable because I was spending a lot of time in the chair. I wish I had a little bit more time to spend it this week, actually, like I was talking about. But as far as this week's video coming up, I'm not too sure on what I'm going to have up yet. You know, like I said, I got quite a few things on my plate. I got, you know, a bunch of ideas to do. Just trying to get one done. I worked 60 plus hours this past week at my full-time job, so I didn't have much time to do anything with YouTube. I worked every night overtime. Also worked today. Even quite a few mornings last week, I was checking in and clocking in and starting my day a half hour, 45 minutes earlier than what I normally do, just because that's what the job requires of me. So, yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of time to put into the YouTube or getting a video ready for this week. But I'll get something up. I'm hoping to still hit my Wednesday deadline like I normally do. Yeah, I'm hoping to get it up by Wednesday by 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time like I normally do, 10 or 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to shoot for that, which, like I said, I got a lot of different stuff in my mind that I could do, just see what time allows. But, yeah, that's kind of where I set out for this week's video. Yeah, I got a similar chair a few days ago. But of course, they're much better back support. Yeah, that's one thing about this chair. I got an unboxing and assembly of this chair. This is the AK racing chair. Quite a few things I like about this chair. Besides, I don't care for the lumbar support. You noticed a few times when I'm sitting there, I've been doing this number trying to adjust that lumbar support. It don't really stay put where I need it. Anytime I move, I gotta readjust that lumbar support. I mean, it's a nice support. It's just the way the straps is on it, I don't agree with. But I'm fairly happy with the chair. I've had it for quite a while now. It seems to be holding up well. But that's kind of what's on the horizon for this week. Like I said, I don't know exactly what I want to get up, but I will have something up. I'm hoping to hit my Wednesday morning deadline. But we'll have to see how that works out. See how timelines lie. Why does it make me do all this? It shouldn't be making me do all this. I started last week after the live stream. I haven't said nothing. I wasn't going to say nothing, but I feel that I should say something to you guys about it, I guess. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you're already aware of this. Excuse me. This is just kind of something that I threw together at the last minute there on Saturday. There's a link for the new merch that I got coming out. Right now I got a sweater, a pullover hoodie, t-shirt, extra large mouse mat, regular mouse mat, coffee cup, and some kind of Kiss Cut sticker. I don't even know what the hell that is, but whatever it is. Which the design that I've got, I think it looks kind of cool, but it's kind of very minimalist. I wasn't too sure if I was going to say anything or not, but there's a link over there in chat if you guys like to go check it out. It's just kind of the pattern that's on it or the design that's on it. It's something I just kind of threw together real quick. I'm actually thinking about going through something like Fiverr, maybe hiring somebody to do something, to give me some kind of decent design or something thrown together for the merch. But I had to throw something on it to be able to order it. I want to wait till I get it in. I did order the hoodie, ordered the t-shirt, ordered the extra large mouse pad, ordered the mouse pad, and the coffee cup. I want to see what the quality of what it actually is, how good the merchandise actually is. Because if the merchandise don't have very good quality to it, I'm just going to close that account. But, yeah, that's something else I started there last weekend. I don't know. kind of gives you guys a way to directly support the channel if you like to, and you get something in return. I wouldn't recommend buying anything till I get my stuff in and see how it actually is. That's completely up to you. But there is the link for it. The prices seem to be a little high for my taste. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I could always go in and adjust the prices a little bit. I can't do a whole lot with them, but I can adjust them a little bit. But again, you know, it comes down to how good the quality is of the products themselves. I think they're going to be pretty good stuff. Should be. But we'll see. Nice one. Merch is always great. Yeah, I thought so. I don't know. I don't know if I'm quite big enough YouTuber to get into selling merch or not, but I figure if I start selling it and start putting the links in the description of my videos now, you know, as the videos age, you know, maybe more people be drawn to click them or something, you know, I don't know. And it's one of them sites that, you know, I don't keep inventory. But if you order something, they are built at the time that you order them. So it takes you a little bit longer to get them. I think that's also why the price is seems to be a little bit high to me. I don't know. Because they are printed as you order them, so it's going to take you a while. I ordered mine last Saturday, and it said 5 to 8 days for shipping. And what was it? When did I get that email? I'm not even sure when I got that email now. But I got an email. Let's see here. Open up the right email here. I think it was like Wednesday I actually got it. That it was a couple of the pieces was sent out on March the 25th. I ordered mine on March the 20th. And on the 20th I ordered it. The 25th is when they actually sent me the email saying that it was shipped. So it does seem to take a while for the stuff to get shipped. If you go and look at the merch, you know, I don't know. Seems to be a little bit on the expensive side. Like I said, I go in and adjust that a little bit. You know, cut down on the profit that I make off of each sale, but I don't know. Like I said, it all depends on how good I feel the merchandise is and if it's worth the price or not. But I will have a video up this week. Like I said, I don't know exactly what, or it depends on what my time frame looks like and what I can get done. I'm thinking about maybe just pulling up some articles and going over some articles on computer hardware news, but you know, the main thing I know that's going on is new GPUs coming out, the 3070 Ti and the 3080 Ti, but I don't know, the GPU market's so trashy right now, I don't even really want to talk about it anymore. It's kind of like beating a dead horse, you know. Hey, look, new GPUs coming up, but you ain't gonna be able to buy them, you know. Yay, you know. So I don't know if I want to do anything like that or not. But we'll have to see what I come up with for this week. Like I said, I want to shoot for that Wednesday deadline. I think that's going to pretty well wrap it up for me today, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, throw them over there in chat if you're live. If not, throw them in that comment section below. I'll go through them next weekend when I'm here live. Like I said, as far as I know right now, next weekend I don't have to work next Saturday, so I should be back at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. I'm hoping, anyways. Really don't like working the kind of hours that I've been putting in for the last week or so. But anyways, if you guys like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. There's that comment section below. I'll go through them every weekend on my live stream here, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Saturday morning. And also, if you're interested, I'm on Instagram and Twitter. I don't carry your inbox, but I do put up photos of new stuff I have coming in, give you an idea of what's coming up on the channel. If there's any news about my live stream, I got changed or canceled, that's where you also get that information. And with all that being said, you all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream.